Hello, hello. So, I am kind of testing something out. I got a program and I wanted to see just how far I could really push that program. Because I'm trying to get my videos to be better with their audio quality. Video quality is going to have to suffer in this one because I'm in my husband's car and this car is falling apart. I don't know if you can hear the tick from the engine. It's just in a really rough spot right now. The suspension on this thing is relatively stiff too, so there's a lot of jostling going on when it comes to the phone mount that I have, or he has, excuse me, I'm just borrowing. Yeah, I just, like, right there, like, you guys just knocked into the windshield. Yeah, I really wanted to see just how far I could push it, because of all of the, oh gosh, the background noise, but, man, I had the perfect word for it, and I'm so sorry, I just lost my complete thought on it. I think of all of the things that it could possibly, or how I could, Lord have mercy, it's been one of those days, I'm so sorry. So I live in Fayetteville. Lord. I was joking around with my husband before I left, and I said, ASMR, quick little drive. If you just said, okay. Excuse me. But it was gonna be like ASMR, like a quick drive through Fayetteville, like a typical drive through Fayetteville. And it's like 7:45 right now. So most of the work traffic is gone, but the idiots are still here, you know what I mean? Just because it's 7:45 doesn't mean anything, so we'll see how it goes. I'm on my way to go pay rent right now. We still have to pay rent with either cash or check. So every month I tried it here recently. I've been sending it through the mail, but that still kind of makes me a little nervous. I have to go pay rent in a little town that, like, pretty much nobody resides in. I said I live in Fayetteville. I have to go pay rent in Rockfish. So it's not like, I get a little concerned that somebody's going to, take my rent check, but majority of the time, I mean, there's nothing to really worry about. Plus, they have cameras up the front too. It's not as bad. Yeah, this place is crazy. I've been here for 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. I've been here since 2010. I'm used to it. I don't like it, but I am used to it. I will say, the heat is not my friend. I'm not a big fan of the heat. I prefer colder climates much more. This is kind of turning into a interview a little bit, I guess. I lived in Alaska, actually on 2 different occasions, but before I moved out here, I lived in Alaska, Anchorage, but Eagle River specifically is where I lived. And I gotta tell you what, going from a cold and very dry climate to hot and humid, like night and day, you want to talk about, just that alone is like a culture shock, I mean climate shock, but I came down here and I was a little dramatic and I was like, I can't breathe in this type of weather, it's like I have a wet rag over my so you get used to it. It's not like something or anything like that. But something I will say that the South has that I really appreciate, I think mainly the East Coast, don't quote me on that because geography is not my specialty, but southern areas like in the East aren't strictly humid. I mean, I know like humid. A lot of my family lives up in Ohio, so I'm aware that humidity is there. I believe Michigan is also humid. Maybe it's just East Coast. Anyway, humid climate is phenomenal for skin like mine because I have extremely dry skin, and it helps not dry out my skin even more. So I will say that, everything's got its pros and cons. Dry climates make it a lot easier when it's blazing hot, because you don't have the added humidity to make it feel hotter than it already is. I know I'm just rambling about stuff that pretty much everybody already knows. It's just, sometimes it's nice to have a low tone in my car and then talk to whoever's like listen to me. It's nice. Honestly, God, it actually is really nice. I like to ramble. I got lots of thoughts. Lots of them. So I think I already said it. But I get down, so I live off of a highway, and a pretty big highway in Fayetteville. Or I should say the main highway. Well, yeah. One second. Slow down a little bit. Oh gosh, I hope everybody's okay. Hold on a second. Oh gosh. I don't know what happened, but I hope everybody's okay. Every time I see an accident, it always reminds me of my accident that I had. Well, really my whole family. 5 years ago, we were on our way to Wilmington, North Carolina, to go see my mom. She lived in Wilmington at the time, and we went to go see her. I had to go to the beach for the weekend and just hang out. And then we had to, because I always drive. I don't like my husband driving. He's actually a phenomenal driver. I'm the bad driver, but I like control. So I prefer to just drive, and he prefers honestly just sit on the side and play on his phone when it's the game or something. Until I start, it doesn't matter. This is just pretty much how it is I drive and then he sits in the passenger. So we were on our way to go see my mom, and we had 2 trucks in front of us, and they had boat trailers attached to them. So of course we're going, under the speed limit, under the speed limit, whatever I say. It's been one of those days today. But everything's fine except for this one guy that's riding my butt, and I can't go anywhere. It's 2 lanes and in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I don't even think I can remember the name of the town now, which is probably a long road better for me anyway. But there's not much of nothing in that area. There's one way this way and the other going the opposite direction. So what am I gonna do? There's no passing at that point too. Anyway, he was riding my butt for I don't even know how long. I just stopped paying attention after a while because it was just so ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, I see him come from behind me and onto my side, and he's in the opposite lane trying to cut in front of all 3 of us. He only successfully cut in front of the 2 of us, and the lady on the opposite side of the road made her swerve out of control, and we crashed head on because she lost control of her vehicle and came over. And when in that moment, it was strange because I swear I saw her just completely go like scraped the entire front of my car, but like went in the ditch. I swear I saw that. But then I don't think I passed out. I don't think I did, but I think maybe adrenaline or something like that. It made me feel like something else had happened, because then all of a sudden, we'll say I came back, like a reality hit kind of thing, and I realized all of the airbags are deployed. Her car is mashed into mine. My son, well, one of my sons, Sterling, I didn't see him yet, but Trevor had gotten out of the car because he was the only one really mobile. My kids were still in car seats at the time, and he got out of the car, yanked my door open, asked me if I was okay. I like barely even got out. Like, no. Sorry, it's funny to look on now, like, or think about like the things that I had said and like done or whatever, but I said, no, I can't move. I could move, I was just, the seatbelt got me good. But I don't remember if he unbuckled me or if I unbuckled myself. Somehow I got unbuckled, and I like pretty much had to just let myself fall out of the car, like ragdoll it, like just fall out of the car. And so I did, and he said, can you get Silas? And I just said, yeah, I was gonna get Silas because he was behind me. And so I get out, I crawl because I can't stand. I crawl over to him and I unbuckle him out, get him out. He's fine. He's shooken up, of course, but he's not like physically injured that I could see at that moment. And then all of a sudden I just hear screaming from Trevor, and I didn't know what was going on. So Silas went over there first because I still had to kind of crawl. I was able to like get to, what's up? Like the back bumper, the fender, whatever that thing is, the little lip before it meets like the hatch of your car, or your trunk, excuse me. Yeah, I grabbed onto that, whatever that thing's called. And then I like pushed myself up and just like forced myself to walk over to them. And then here I remember Trevor was sitting in the grass and holding Sterling in his lap, and his face was just bloodied, and he like it was just such an intense accident. So, you know, we don't know what's going on. We're all freaked out. We have a massive crowd around us. I was kind of surprised. Remember, this is like in the middle of nowhere, it felt like. I mean, we were still 20 minutes away from my mom. New Washington, I think is what it was called. I'll have to ask my mom later and see if she remembers where we had that accident. But ambulance came, immediately got us in to the ambulance because we couldn't move. At least I couldn't move from my spot where I was at. And yeah, we get in. Everybody's panicked. The EMTs are panicked because I was getting mad at them. I was like, lady, you're asking me to fill out this paperwork and I have absolutely no problem filling out the paperwork. It's just, I can barely move my hands. Like, I don't think you understand. I'm in a lot of pain. And my son's like passing out, and it's funny because we all survived and we're good. It's not even funny. It's just, yeah, it's just the entire situation. It's just wild. It kind of doesn't even feel real sometimes. But anyway, we get to the hospital. Sterling's immediately taken away from us and taken up to surgery. And we don't know if he broke his neck because he's not responsive. He's awake, but every time we like say something, he doesn't really talk. He looks at you. He recognizes that you're saying something to him, but he's not, you know, making anything. He's not even trying to have like some form of coherent sentences or anything like that. So that was in the ambulance. So they take him away. They get me situated. Thankfully, I didn't have any, you know, oh gosh, what is it? No internal bleeding. Everything is good. Seatbelt was, thank God, where it was at, because it caught me exactly where it needed to be. I was a little busted up, but other than that, fine. Silas, perfectly fine, other than being shooken up, of course. Same with Trevor. Other than being shooken up, you know, there was no real, well, there wasn't really like bodily injury that could be done. Trevor had a lot of bruising because he like took the whole glove box out with his knee, and I mean, that bruise was gnarly. He had that for a while. But anyway, Sterling, we finally, I get drugged up just to take away the pain, and then, you know, we don't have any word in Sterling for a little while. Eventually we do, and he's got to go into surgery. I said, well, nobody's telling me anything. Like, surgery for what? Like, you guys got to give me specifics. You haven't told me if his neck is broken, you know, what's going on. And after that, they were really, really good to us. But he was broken here because he had a Hot Wheels car in his hand, and when we impacted, he flung forward in his car seat, and he hit the back of Trevor's seat like this with the Hot Wheels car in his hand. And so that's what ultimately broke his nose. Well then, poor thing, because of the Hot Wheels cars again, he also lost 5 of his teeth, which is the impact alone. I mean, it was really intense. Of course, he had a concussion, and there was just, a little boy went through a lot being 3 years old. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot for any kid, especially at that age. It was insane. Absolutely insane. Wait 1 second. I am here. I'm going to pause you for a little bit. Or actually, I can just keep it going. I'll be right back. Don't look at my rat. Don't look at my dress, but like. And I'm back. Hopefully that wasn't too terribly long. And we can go home. So I don't really remember exactly where I left off, but I'll cut through some stuff. So Sterling was in the hospital for about 3 days. 2 days, after his surgery. But, sorry, I don't know how to do 2 things at the same time. I'm very much that, turn the music down, I can't see. I hate it, but it's just, unfortunately, just who I am. I get it from my mom. But, oh gosh, what was it? Sterling was in the hospital for 2 days. We get him out, obviously he's very busted up, but he's at least, alive and well. He's, gonna make a really good recovery. Even his, appointments after the fact, he does still have a scar, of course. I mean, it was a pretty decent sized, gash in his face. It wasn't just he broke it. It was open. It was scary. I remember exactly what the car looked like too. It was a tan Buick, probably like a '05. And I believe it was a, if I remember, I have the picture still on my phone of the type of car that I showed the cop, because I didn't get a license plate, unfortunately, and he did get away. And the lady he made run off the side of the road and hit us, she died because of him. It was a very, very tragic, very serious situation, and he just left. Didn't think anything of it, just left. The guy with the boat trailer, so I said earlier there was two. I don't really remember what happened with the second, or the one that was in front, but the guy that I was immediately behind, he stuck around because she had hit his trailer, but also to help give a police report. Of course, he was out of luck when it came to that too, because the guy ran. And that was a really, really tough situation after the fact too, because I feel guilty even talking about this, but truth's the truth, and I'm not a liar. I just, I don't want to say it is what it is, but, we made our decision, and I'm still relatively content with it, the way that we went about it. So, this guy, he's gone. We have nobody to put the full blame of all this on, as far as insurance goes. So it's ruled as an accident, of course, that neither myself nor her was at fault. However, because he's not there for his insurance to pay for everything, now we have to take care of our own selves. And of course, she unfortunately had passed, so there's no, I shouldn't say no, I don't really understand what all goes with that. When you pass in an accident, I don't know. But for our side, we just, take care of her. Our insurance takes care of us, and then her insurance takes care of, I get impound of the car. I don't really know. Something to do with her stuff. Well, we fought it. Not really fought it. We did start to fight it a little bit in the beginning, because my rep had said, you might want to try to go after her insurance to see if they can help pay for some of these medical bills that Sterling had because, of the accident. I was like, oh God. So not only did such a tragic thing happen that was out of neither of our controls, now we're in a situation where we're like, it kind of makes us in a way look greedy if we go after her insurance for the money to pay for this stuff. And we have so we have really, really good insurance. We have TRICARE. So medical stuff, if it's a necessity, it gets paid for. So it's not like we had an outstanding balance or anything, because insurance and TRICARE at that point tries, figures out what's what. However, Trevor and I, specifically me, really thought about fighting it because, what if there's so much trauma that happened to Sterling's mouth that his teeth don't come down, and then we have to get surgery to get his teeth to come down. What if, Sterling needs braces in the future? What if there's other surgeries that are going to come up that we just don't know about yet because of the blunt force trauma that happened to his face? So we fought with ourselves for a long, long while, as long as we were able to, of course. I mean, we waited to the last minute to finish out the claim. Of course, we got everything taken care of as far as getting money for our car, because our car was totaled. I mean, if you can imagine it, she was probably going 60 and we were going 40 and we just hit head on like that. I mean, it was an intense accident. But we fought with ourselves on are we doing the right thing by going after her? Are we really in a situation where we need to do that? We just don't know of the future. We can't, obviously we don't have a crystal ball we can just look into. This is the right decision to make. This is what we need to do. So, I was talking with so many different people, so many family members, just to see, what would they do in that situation? And it was so mixed. It was all over the place, naturally so. Ultimately, we did decide that we were not going to go after her insurance. I couldn't sleep at night with the thought of somehow I was taking advantage of this woman that had absolutely nothing to, and her family, that had absolutely nothing to do with it other than being caught in a bad circumstance just like we were. I don't think anybody should be penalized except for the man that did it. Her and her family are dealing with worse. They actually have a death. We were very fortunate to not have that. Unfortunately, they were not. So I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I just couldn't do it. We ultimately decided that if it was something that needed to happen in the future, we would figure it out. We just couldn't do that to their family. Nobody wanted that. Nobody, we weren't driving, ridiculously. She wasn't driving ridiculously. She was actually only 5 minutes from her house. I'll never forget that. I don't know, it's just stuff's so scary because it happens so fast. I was just on the phone with my dad 5 minutes before any of that happened. And, we were on our way to go see my mom. So when we, hit, I immediately called her. Because when you're in a state of panic like that, you don't know what to do. And you're shaking. It's just, you either freak out or you just do. It's, I called her and they said she's, her and my sister are super excited on the phone because they don't realize what's happened yet. And, they're like, how far away are you guys? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I think we're 20 minutes from you, but we're in an accident. We got in a really bad accident. We're not making it. I need you to come. And it was panic at that point in time. So my mom calls me dad, and my mom called my boss, who's also a really good friend of mine. It was rough. I was out of work for 3 weeks. Trevor was out of work for 1. It was an insane time. I don't ever want to relive that ever again. I've gone through 3 I'm on my 3rd super, is actually what I should say. Both totaled in the same year. 2025 was a terrible year for us. So, somebody T-boned me, and I just got off of work, and I went to go, this is January, January 7th, and I got off of work to go pick my kids up from my sister's house, which is watching my world. Mind you, that's a 2-minute drive, and from her place to my place place, a 5-minute drive. So I get off work, go get my kids, everything's great, everything's good. I get to the light. It shows in the neighborhood that as you merge out, or excuse me, when you want to go out to either side, it's on a main road, so there's a light. I have a green arrow. I don't just have a green light, I have a green arrow. And this idiot just plows right through that red light and hits and T-bones my car so freaking hard. And I was just creeping out of the neighborhood. So I'm probably not even going 10 miles an hour. There was no way I was even probably going 10 miles an hour. We'll say tops 8. And he hit me so hard, because that road is 40 and nobody goes 40 on that road. Everybody goes 50 or higher. Excuse me. And then he pinned me in my car, and I didn't even realize I got hurt. Not severely. Nobody had to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital after because I didn't realize how hard I got hit with my airbag and just him in general. I was pinned. But anyway, at the intersection that we were at, there was enough people there that while they didn't see it, heard it. And they came out and immediately started helping. Thank God. Because my kids are screaming. I'm screaming because it just came up out of nowhere. And it wasn't like the more traumatic accident where I physically saw her swerving out of control. This one, it just, I didn't see it. By the time it happened, it just happened. That's when I noticed him. Oh gosh, what was it? So kids are fine, everybody's good, shooken up but good. And get out of the car, and this freaking idiot, we're talking to the cops, and I want to use more vulgar language, but this idiot gets out, and we're talking with the cops about insurance and stuff like that, and he has the nerve to hand over a business card of his and says, if you guys would like to buy t-shirts, this is my business. I was so mad because he's the one that did wrong. And the worst part is the cop was like, well, I can't really put the blame on anybody. I get that you weren't there, but I literally just told you that it doesn't matter. I'm still mad about it 5 years later. How could I not be mad about it? Why would you do that? Idiot. God, I wish I could have. I don't remember his name or anything like that. I'm sure if I looked deep enough, I could figure it out. I don't need to go that far because it'll just make me mad over again. But, so that happened, we'll say January 7th. I know it was early January of that year. And then less than a week later, I remember this specifically, 6 days after that accident, somebody sideswipes my husband. Are you joking? Oh, but we're not done. So remember, I said that guy pinned me in my car, totaled that Subaru. It was my first Subaru. I just paid that freaking thing off. Oh, I was pissed. But, so then I got a second one. And it doesn't really matter, but it was the better version that had the whole eyesight package and stuff like that. 2016, yeah. So I'm thinking, that car kept me safe, and it was just a base model. This one's the same price, better miles, has the eyesight package. Absolutely, I'm gonna do that. So we get that. I'm thinking it's gonna be great, and it is great. Don't get me wrong. It was absolutely phenomenal. Then skip to May of 2025. My sister gets into a bad accident with my kids and her kid. So, we went from January where they were in the car with me. Then May, they got in an accident in May. They weren't hurt then still, thank God. But, she was watching them, and she took them out to the zoo. And I had just got home, maybe 30 minutes ago, and they were coming, because it's 2 hours out. So you know, I'm waiting around at the house where she said she's gonna drop him off. Okay, cool, whatever. It's not like it's the first time she's taking him out somewhere. But, and then she's like, oh! That's awesome. Hold on a second. Oh! Let's see if it stays. I think it's going to. Ooh, it did. Sick. Awesome. Let's see if it can last me a little bit longer, about like 7 minutes from home. But, yeah, they get into an accident, a really rough one with a Penske truck, and she had a little Toyota Corolla at the time. Slid right up underneath that thing and got obliterated. Ivy got, which is my sister, sustained a little bit of damage. Car was totaled out, but nothing like super, super crazy, thankfully. But that was, oh my gosh, that was terrifying. Because I'm, you know, sitting at the house waiting for her kids to come home. Don't think anything of, you know, even the phone call at first, only for it to end very badly. And oh my god, I hauled my butt all the way out there, only for the EMTs to tell me I can't get on the ambulance. So that was a whole not nightmare, but just a whole mess. It upset me. And then cut from May to then August. Then we had that terrible accident. I mean, it was bad. It was so bad that whole year. So I don't ever want to have another accident ever again, because it really is terrible. Not that anybody needed me to say that, but I think I've been in enough accidents to last me a little while, because I had 2 of them, like, when I was 18, 19. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do them anymore. I really hope that this video is not complete trash, but I just bit my lip. Sorry, I bit my cheek. It felt so awesome. I'm sure this video is going to be pretty bad. I'm probably not going to be able to use a lick of it, which really sucks, but I went in figuring that was probably going to be the case. But I did say it was a test, you know, to kind of figure out. I feel like that thing is about to fall again. I just need it to last like 5 minutes. Okay, let's see how much longer I can get through this. So I believe I said this drive started at 7:45. It is now 8:21, and I'm probably gonna get home around 8. I'm gonna say 8:27 is about ish when I'm gonna get home. It's probably gonna be a tiny bit earlier than that. Let's see. So I've got a couple lights before I get to my house. Remember, I live on a highway, or off of a highway. Yeah, I live directly on it. Like in the median. I live in not the best part of Fayetteville either. It's not terrible. It could be way worse. I know it could be way worse. But we definitely don't live in the bestest of parts. So like when I make videos, even when I make videos at night, ironically, it's best for me to make videos during the day because I don't have to worry about gunshots during the time. Depending on the time of day. Rude, I was talking. Depending on the time of day, really is going to determine how much crazy traffic noise you're going to hear, because I'm not going to say it's always the military, but majority of the time it's the military. It's like revving their engines really loudly for absolutely no reason at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'm already awake. It's just, was it necessary? Was it really necessary? But whatever. Oh my gosh, this is going to frustrate me significantly. It was doing so well. What did I do? This user error has something to do with something I did. We're almost home anyway, so it's not gonna be too much longer. But yeah. At nighttime, like I said, I have to worry about sounds of gunshots and like constantly through the night. I'm a heavy sleeper, so as far as sleep, actually my entire household's heavy sleepers. So as far as sleep goes, it's really not a big deal. Noise like that doesn't bother me. For ASMR though, oh my gosh, absolute nightmare. That's why I ask my husband, like on the weekends, since the kids have gotten back, if he'll take the kids for a couple of hours so I can pre-film, because at nighttime it just sucks. Once the kids get back in school though, it's going to be so much easier. Oh my gosh, so much easier. I'm not going to have to worry about nearly as much noise. There's still going to be noise. I live on a highway, you know, so that's what it is. So I'm hoping that this program that I'm looking into, well, I downloaded it, we'll see if it's any good. But so I'm hoping it works out, because I'm not in denial. I think it's going to deafen everything, but I do want it to at least deafen some of the stuff. Like, I live in North Carolina. There's no way I'm turning off my AC. Absolutely no way. I can't handle it. Not even just because I used to live in Alaska and I love the cold. I just physically can't handle that, and I'm not going to make my kids suffer in, almost 100-degree weather. That's not right. Absolutely not. No offense, but I'm not doing that. If it's going to make my kids' quality of life go down, I'm not doing it. But I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying so hard to figure it out because I want to. I really, really want to. And I have a lot of ambitions and a lot of goals with this, and I'm having fun with it. I get frustrated when I can't, do it on my time, but it's not like I didn't already know. It's no different than when I had a job, and stuff comes up. There are times where I had to go get my kids, when they were in school, and I had to leave work early or something like that, or wasn't able to go to work at all because they said they were sick. It's not, by no means am I wanting it to come across as like the end of the world. There's definitely ways around this stuff, and there's gonna be times where it's easier and it's not. I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in another video that I am usually a really big workaholic, and when I get into work, I take my work very seriously, and I don't like my work to be disturbed, and that's a me problem. That is a nobody else problem. It is good when you are single and have no children, but I'm learning to be flexible and to be understanding, and to, like, today is July 31st. I set goals for myself, and when I can't meet them, it ruins my entire day and sometimes my entire week. And that's frustrating because it really shouldn't be like that. It should just be, okay, try harder next time. It absolutely tears me apart when I can't, even if they're unrealistic expectations, mind you. They don't always have to be realistic expectations. But I can't meet whatever I have set for myself, whether it's spoken aloud or just assumed in my mind. When that thing comes up, it tears me apart. And one of those things was I wanted to upload 5 days a week, and I know that as quality of content gets better, like editing and stuff like that, when I get into that type of stuff, I might not be able to do 5 times a week. But I like schedules. I like to stick to schedules. I am very much the type of work ethic I have is that's pretty rigid. I'll be honest with you. Try to be very rigid, but I'm just rambling. And I really do need to go. So 1, I want to go inside and see my family before they go to bed. 2, we bought a new game, so we're gonna play a game as a family, and I'm super stoked about that. So thanks for hanging out with me. Don't even know if this video is gonna get posted or not. Yeah. I'll see you later. Bye.